Hey, what is going on, everybody? So in this video, I'm going to be getting into Jordan Love's contract. I'm going to take a look at sort of how much money he's expected to get paid over these next few years. There's a few different kinds of things and scenarios that will happen depending on if he plays or how well he plays, which will sort of determine some of the later years of his contract. But I'm also going to take a look at Aaron Rodgers' contract as well and sort of see how they might fit together, because lots of people have believe that maybe possibly they'll want to trade Aaron Rodgers in a year or two, 3 or 4, who knows exactly when. But when we sort of look at his contract, we can see sort of what would make the most sense for the Packers if they ever did want to do that, if that was a possibility. I'll take a look at that as well. But if you guys are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Luke Beller. I'm a Packers fan, so I make videos about the Packers as well as other NFL teams as well. So if you're into that kind of thing, feel free to subscribe down below. So it's expected that Jordan Love will sign a 4-year contract totaling around $12 million. So he's estimated to make around, like $3.1 million per year, which is pretty nice, considering it's most likely that he'll be sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for at least 2 years. I mean, that's most likely going to happen. We don't really know for sure, but that's sort of my opinion. So that's a pretty nice paycheck to, learn behind Aaron Rodgers, getting $3 million a year. I mean, I'd take that, why not? But obviously, I don't have that talent, or I wouldn't be making this video right now. I would be out there trying to play football, but I wasn't gifted with that. So with this 4-year contract, there's also a 5th-year option. And with this 5th-year option, it looks as if the Packers have to decide after year 3 if they will offer him this option. And it's sort of the amount that he gets paid for this 5th-year option depends on how well he performs the first 3 years. And just the fact that Aaron Rodgers could be starting all 3 years, Jordan Love could end up with the sort of lowest possible salary, because basically the 5th-year option is determined basically on how many snaps he played, like if he made a Pro Bowl and those kinds of things. So if he doesn't get on the field, he is not going to be able to get into the higher echelon of these, contract deals for his 5th year. Because for this 5th-year option, when I was doing research, there's about 4 different possible scenarios. There's a franchise tender, which is if you have made 2 or more Pro Bowls in the first 3 seasons, you get paid an average of, the 5 highest salaries, so he'd make a lot of money that way. But the fact that Aaron Rodgers is still here, I don't see any way how Jordan Love would make the Pro Bowl in 2 of his first 3 seasons. First off, he'd have to be insanely good. Second off, Aaron Rodgers would either have to have somehow left the team or just be injured every single year or the next few years, which isn't going to happen, most likely. So I don't think that's on the table for him. The transition tender is the second option, which is if he makes 1 or more Pro Bowls in the first 3 seasons, which if the Packers didn't have Aaron Rodgers after 2 years, if in the 3rd year Jordan Love started and somehow made the Pro Bowl, he could sort of get this option if they decided to, sign him on to that 5th-year option, which would pay him the average of the top 10 QB salaries. So the 3rd option is if he plays in 75% of the first 3 seasons, or averages at least 50% of plays in each of the first 3 seasons, his salary would be from the 3rd to 20th. You'd average all those quarterback salaries, and that would be his salary. And then if he doesn't match any of those, his salary would be the average of the 3rd to 25th quarterback salary. So with those different options for his 5th year, I think that it's probably likely that he'll have the minimum one, because even if he does come in his 3rd year and make the Pro Bowl, that would be amazing if he was that good right off the bat. I just don't find it likely that his 1st year he would do that. Probably take him time to progress, and hopefully he can be that good in the future. But just for him to come off right off the bat and for that to happen, I don't know if that's very likely. Plus, we don't even know. Aaron Rodgers could be here for the next 4 years, maybe even longer, depending on how everything goes, how well he plays this season, next few seasons. So we don't really know exactly what will happen with this Jordan Love contract situation, but I just sort of laid it out so that way you sort of know the likely scenario, like if something like that were to happen, those are sort of the options for the salary. So if you take a look at Aaron Rodgers' contract, he signed a new deal in 2018, and then he ended up getting his contract extended for 4 years, starting this year. Well, that runs with the 2023 season. And so in 2018 and 2019, Rodgers was paid a total of $79.2 million. That's a nice chunk of money right there. And for the 2020 season, his $19.5 million roster bonus has already been guaranteed. But after this year, Aaron Rodgers has no more guaranteed money on the table after this one season. So one important thing to look at for the possibility of the Packers trading Aaron Rodgers is sort of the dead cap hit that would come to the Packers whenever they decided to trade him, because depending on which year they decided to trade him, if they ever do, which we don't really know if they would or exactly what will happen, the dead cap hit will be different depending on the season. So after the 2020 season, if the Packers traded him, the Packers have a dead cap hit of $31.5 million, but it would make more sense after the 2021 season, because the dead cap hit would be $17.2 million. So when looking at the possible scenario, people were saying that it would make more sense for the Packers if they were wanting to trade Aaron Rodgers to trade him after the 2021 season. So if you look at that, In 2020, the Packers will be saving $4.8 million if you look at sort of the dead cap and his salary. And if you look at 2021, they'd be saving $22 million. So it would make much more sense after that season. And again, I just wanted to say these are just possible scenarios. I don't necessarily think he will be traded out this time, but I think it's interesting to look at all the different things that could possibly happen, because it's more than just how well a player performs. It's basically how much are you having to pay this player based on his performance. Because after the 2021 season, let's say, for example, that Aaron Rodgers hasn't played great. Hopefully he does play great, but let's just say he didn't for a random scenario. So at that point, if you were to move on, you'd have Jordan Love with a very, very cheap contract, which would allow you to pay other players bigger money. So Jordan Love, let's say he came in, started 2022 season, if things were to work out in that way, if he had progressed behind Aaron Rodgers and had sort of shown that he has the ability to play top level football, his contract would be only $1.7 million in 2022 and $2.3 million in 2023. And as I was doing some reading, there have been lots of teams in the NFL that sort of utilize this sort of cheap QB contract to sort of allow their team to be stacked in other areas while they pay their quarterback not as much money. So they're able to, basically stack up other parts of their team. And I believe one example was Russell Wilson. Maybe Patrick Mahomes is one as well. I'm not sure. You might want to double check on that one. But basically that could be a possible scenario as well. So that's basically a look at those two players' contracts. I hope you guys got some value from this. For me, it's sort of fun to look at these kinds of things and see sort of how things could play out and work out for the Packers in the coming future. But if you're a Packers fan, remember to subscribe. But if you guys got any value from this video, I'd love if you'd like it down below. And if you guys have any thoughts about these contract situations or anything I didn't say that you sort of want to say, feel free to drop it down below. I love having conversations with other fans. So feel free to do that. But that's going to be all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.